lasers on it. And then we'll come in nice and tight for a good zoom here, Wayne.
Okay, hold on.
Jake, can you check my porch light? Make sure that's on.
Yep, it's on.
Thank you.
Let me get the focus. Hold on. Okay, there it is.
Well, should we give it a go?
We can try.
Okay. Come
Yep.
full wide, please.
Coming full wide. Full wide.
Okay, box open, please. That's the starboard one.
Oh.
That's a big boy.
Look at that.
Oh, what do we do with the coral though?
Can I break him off and poke him in there?
Steve?
Yeah, break it.
Yeah, it's good.
Roger.
Slingshot out.
Oops.
Stay down there.
Oh.
It's hard
Okay,
to keep
so
a good
let me
coral
think about-
down.
Get my camera all the way back.
If you hold it down, I can pull it and try.
That's what I'm thinking. It is not exactly an easy maneuver because I get close to the Zeus.
Okay.
So let's try it halfway and I'll see if I can tuck it in under the lid. Okay, one more bump.
In?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good there. Just gotta be very careful here.
You're gonna have to note, do not open bio box.
Yeah, it's got the jack in the box.
Yeah, Victoria Gorgia just leaps out.
Oh, hello, chaperone.
Okay, could you box in? Just a bump. Another bump.
Very resourceful.
Okay, one more bump. Good there.
Yeah,
Maybe a quick bump out.
Rotate.
And then bump in. One more bump. That's going to go. Yeah, close it.
Nice.
Okay.
Wow.
Nice teamwork.
Put a sticky note on
Awesome.
the screen.
Yeah. Are you able to center that up? Thanks for the opportunity, guys. Thanks for believing.
Suna, I had sample 32.
Correct.
We
Yeah.
believe. Hi, friends.
Hello.
Hi, Megan.
I missed you.
Why don't you introduce yourself? We've already gone around and done a round of introductions for sure. Definitely have.
I'm sure you have. I'm sure they were detailed and full of insight about
just
your career
finished.
pathways.
Yeah, we did about 10 minutes each person.
Neat.
We all did our initials.
Okay, where are we going next?
Let's just keep going along this ridge. I mean, toward the.
We are
peak.
ridged out. We are peaked.
Okay.
There's a little bit more up.
Is there more?
Yep.
All right, you can bump in there, Wayne.
Oh, sorry. Bump in. Wide.
Thank you. Let's see, what do we got? Anything to the left? Yeah, I'd say there's a little lumpus to the left.
To the left. That's back where we came from.
It is. That's the summit. I could look back right and see if there's another double summit.
Yeah. Yeah, no, Miles, if you can zoom out a little bit on the chart there, maybe go hop to the other peak to the east.
I guess there's another little, I'm in a micro saddle.
Okay. And can you zoom out a little bit farther here? Let's see where we are. Okay. Huh.
Contour lines are definitely helpful at this scale.
Yeah.
They are.
No, actually, for some reason, I thought we were on the other volcanoes to the northeast there. I mean, I don't think we're not gonna have time to go over to the other side, to those other peaks.
I mean, we could tow over there and take us about a little more than an hour. But we wouldn't see the bottom.
Yeah,
And then it'd be past our recovery time.
exactly.
Is that true? That's not quite true.
Not quite.
true.
Yellow trumpet looks unique.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool sponge.
Very
Oh,
bright.
wow.
Bridge nav.
I'll just keep cruising
20
around here
meters,
until
bearing 090.
Yeah. I mean, Steve should be on his way up, and I'll let him make the decision.
sounds good. Let's find more cool stuff to look at.
Yeah.
So was that the last of our rock samples, Steve? Did we get them all? I just called you Steve, Rob.
Yeah. That's okay.
I'm not ready. I just got in the van. Haven't warmed up.
No, I mean, I think that's our 7th. There's space for what? I mean, we could get one more, but I don't think we have space for it. And Kevin doesn't. I mean, I think we have these things sampled well enough now.
Okay.
You want a little zoom?
Sure. Woo! That's the end
Whoa.
of my leash. Bouncy, bouncy.
Coming wide. Wide.
Did you guys hear they saw a piglet squid?
Piglet
Oh, wow.
squid. That's a neat name.
Isn't it?
I don't know that one.
12 to 4. It's very cool.
That was a weird sponge, wasn't
So-
it?
The yellow one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
What's this? Oh no, never mind. That's a rock.
what's living in the cave that looks?
Oh, I see the little red dot, you mean?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Let me walk over there and we'll explore.
Squat lobster?
Okay, Wayne, go ahead.
Oh no,
Squat
it's an
lobster?
anemone crab.
It's a cheerleader crab with pom poms.
Those ones are so cool. They just got their little backpack.
Yeah, little decorator. Yeah, I like backpack crab. Because it's not out on its pinchers. Cool.
How does the anemone know that it just can do that and it's not going to be all messed up from doing it?
I'm interested to know if the crabs pick them up and decorate with them. You know, stick them on.
Oh, okay. And the anemone is just like, yep, cool, I'm fine with this. You got more zoom there, Wayne?
That's it. That's you got.
Alright,
That's
I'm
everything.
super far away.
You're very steady too, by the way. Thank you.
It's a little flicky outy purple a bit. Oop, oh, losing it.
Yeah, I see it.
Wonder what animal that's from.
I think that's the antenna of the crab.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Bingo.
That's cool. Okay, come wide, please.
Coming wide.
Hello, 8 to 12. I'm in the back row now.
Amazing detail from
Hello.
this distance. Actually.
Welcome. Welcome to our team.
For our last hour or so of dive.
Yeah.
The real Steve is in the house.
The real
I'm just going to start calling everyone Steve. Hey, Steve.
Dave. Dave.
Sorry, Rob.
No, I've been called worse.
Did we get a close-up of this yellow sponge?
We
You
have.
did.
Yeah.
We have, but we can do it again. Hold on a sec, Wayne.
Oh, sorry.
Extreme close-up.
Spoiled.
I was at the end of my tether last time, so I think I got a little more to play with now.
Okay.
It has some darker yellow splotches on the top. I wonder what those are.
Okay, go ahead and zoom there.
Okay.
Yeah, and a lot of pigment concentration in the holdfast too. It's wild.
I got a wishbone on our
There's
screen.
mini. Oh no,
Yeah.
it's brittle stars.
Brittle stars,
Mhm.
yeah. And it's gonna be the end of my leash soon. Maybe not. Maybe I can get away with it.
Oh, that's great. That'll really help the sponge folks.
Oh wow.
You got it in the
Nice.
turmeric as well.
Another witch?
You got into the turmeric.
Look at all those little brittle star condos.
That's so great.
Curry sponge.
It's a good name.
I remember
actually.
that, yeah. So I think
Nice
this one has been
pirouette.
collected, and I was gonna double check that it had been collected.
So
But
is that named after the basketball player?
Wide.
Yeah.
Thanks.
move that closer to your mouth. Everyone wants to hear your funny jokes.
They're real good.
Which way are we going?
Due east.
Okay, I'm gonna de-rhubarb myself. So we're gonna go down slope? Or are we just gonna cruise?
I think we're gonna leap.
Leap. Okay. I guess we'll keep going until a minute later, and then we'll track the line as soon as we lose bottom.
Okay.
So we're gonna leap over, like off the bottom.
I think so.
You're interested in the plane once we reach the bottom? You don't want to see the downslope?
No, I mean, downslope doesn't make for good, really great video. So
It was great last night.
We backed
Wayne
down.
loved it.
It was a blast.
Can you show me that?
Wayne didn't
Especially
like
Wayne
it.
loved it.
Those are the death eyes. Look at that. Do not do this to me again,
I mean,
please.
I've never used a methodology in my research that's been the ROV backed down the hill.
Well, I mean, it had,
Yeah,
it
you
had
should-
great spatial imagery.
I was like, you have now, because we did it last night.
But yeah, it's the first time I've done it too, and it was different.
It is non-standard.
You couldn't
Yeah.
really zoom in on anything, but you could see the spatial
Substandard.
distribution of various corals.
So, yeah. There's some stuff up here, but it's a totally different. There's a fish in the lower left, actually.
Oh yeah. I have time to prayer.
Is that a fish?
Checking him
Oh,
out.
what's it?
Swimming
Yeah.
up above the
Mhm.
bottom there?
Might not be the smoothest video, but I'll see what I can do.
It's all right.
Okay, Wayne, go ahead.
Got
Tuskio.
Ooh, hit the rock.
He's quick.
Scared him. All right,
See
come
what we
wide.
can do with that, but it looks good.
Wide.
Starting to see some downslope action now, so
Yeah.
now might be the time for the leap of faith. Does that sound good to sciencey folks?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So this
I think we're good
this
for a
summit
line.
is totally different than
Good for a
that
line, I
second
think.
summit
Yeah,
we
forward,
looked at
please,
last night.
Fast you want
Are we
That-
doing a jump?
How far are we going?
Well, nominally 2,500 meters, but I think we want to see bottom before then.
Okay. Well,
So here's what
let's
I'm
do
thinking.
1.2.
You know, we don't want to waste all of the time in the dive in the midwater to go to the next peak, so maybe we can just drop down on the other side of this peak and work our way up again.
Okay.
Somewhere in the middle of the slope.
Yeah.
You
You
know,
can just call it a big step. I
Over
don't
here?
know.
not even closer if it.
Yeah, this
Yeah,
direction.
Right there. Yeah.
Okay.
How far is that?
500 meters.
You can just call it a bunch of big steps if you want. Or track a line, whatever you think's best. But we can go speedy.
Bridge nav.
Any opportunity to just scan this boulder here, mound, see what's.
So whatever heading he's or bearing he says,
We track a line.
can you line up Argus's?
060 at 1 knot.
Line up Argus there, then I'll navigate with that.
Correct.
Perfect. Thank you.
So yeah, pretty impressive peak.
0.35?
Keep
Mhm.
trying to say what I was trying to say, and then I forget what I was going to say. Yeah, the first peak we looked at was completely covered with massive bamboo coral fans, and this is just small plexaurids, Victorgorgia, and some other small corals and sponges.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm surprised, given that we're only a couple 100 meters deeper and on a smaller peak, that the communities are so different. There are no bamboo corals here.
Well, I mean, the first peak we went up didn't really have the bamboo corals that much.
Yeah.
But then we jumped over
Yeah,
to
that
the
second one.
The second one, that's when it was just covered with the huge bamboo.
Yeah.
Bearing is 060.
And the strange thing is that the oceanography is not that different, so you wouldn't expect that to be a factor. So maybe it has something to do with substrate and slope. Larval supply is also a question mark.
God, we were so excited to hand over the watch to you last night. We were like, get up here, this is amazing, on the second peak.
Yeah, I think, you know, I haven't looked at the photos from peak 1, but I think definitely piqued my interest.
Nice pause.
I was like, you're pre-chuckling. There's something.
Do I want to do
You're
it?
pre-chuckling.
Wayne's giving you stink eye, though.
Yeah, I've got a mirror for that right here.
Stink eye mirror.
Stick your head out from science, look forward, so I can give it to you.
He's avoiding it specifically.
Yeah, he is. He's a smart man. Okay.
So we've got about an hour and a half left of time on the bottom here for this dive, and we're gonna kind of jump off this peak and then climb up another side of it. Just getting some more survey of the area. You know, we really, when we climb up these seamounts, we're, you know, imagine sort of just walking with a flashlight. So the possibility that communities are different in different, you know, kind of quadrants or areas of the seamount, completely possible. So we'll spend the time checking out another side of this, climbing back up.
So did you pop a Niskin bottle last night, Steve?
We did one in that bamboo coral garden at peak 2. So before we leave, you know, once we're up off the seafloor a ways, maybe 10, 20 meters before we recover, we'll pop one last Niskin for a background sample.
We have a photo bomber.
Hello, fish.
You want to try and have a look at him?
Sure.
You got time?
Okay. All right, Wayne, go ahead.
All right.
Oh, and a cat shark behind.
Oh
Look
yeah.
at that.
Maybe he's stalking it.
Maybe.
Here's your predation of
Is that a
Miles.
hello, sir?
Yeah, looks like a halso.
I
I think
Or
it's
is
a little
that-
Yeah.
different.
think it's different. It doesn't have the duck bill face.
Yeah, it has a bit scalier of a face and less streamlined.
Yeah.
Eelish?
Eel-like, yeah.
Yeah.
He's far away.
Yes.
I have a guess, but I'll
He's got
consult my
very-
guide before I,
Throw it out there.
yeah.
Coming wide.
All right.
So this one might
Wide.
be Diplocanthopoma. But I'll have to look
All
at
right,
the
let's zoom in
lateral
again.
line
Let's get a
and
nice
see how the
take.
lateral
Zooming in.
line's structured.
Yeah, the head shape looks about right, though.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, look at that lateral line and up high.
Yep. Oh,
That's
yep.
it.
So it's got a super scaly face.
Yeah. So cool.
Yeah. So I
Wow.
think this is.
Looks like he has a dragon face or something.
Dragon face. Where are you going?
I call you dragon face. Yeah.
I was gonna say it looks very dinosaur-like.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
It was like
So
part
cool.
coelacanth.
Wide.
sort of
Let's see if we
thing.
can find that catch
Yeah.
shot.
Wide. Sorry.
But there's so many nuances to
Mhm.
fishes that
Or not.
No, he's gone. But we may be able to look at the squishy bit. Or is that the same thing?
Wait,
Zoom
what is
in.
that thing?
That's the same
another
guy.
fish, yeah.
It's the back of him trying to quickly make a break.
Chase him to the end of my tether.
Yeah, you're almost
Yeah.
at the end.
yeah, very nice.
All right,
Nice
that's all I
video.
got.
Wide. Oh, he's close.
Are we moving, by the way?
We're trying our best.
Just asking. No judging.
Just asking, no judging.
So pretty cool, everybody. This morning got to talk with a bunch of families at the Franklin Institute in Philadelphia. That's why I was late to watch. It was super fun.
Was it an interaction?
Yeah, we hosted it from the wet lab, though. We've been trying out a little new system. So that was really fun.
Awesome.
Picked up one of the bins with one of the rocks in it, and I was like, this is part of a volcano from the bottom of the ocean, and watched brains explode, you know.
Cool.
Just really awesome. Got to answer adorable questions like a young guest wanted to know if we've always liked swimming in water and how old we were the first time we swam in water. And I was like, good question.
I don't know how
So,
old I was. That'd be a
yeah.
tough one for me to answer.
It seems like a question a psychologist would ask,
Yeah.
you know, for how we got into marine careers.
Yeah, have you always liked this? I was like, I lived in the desert. Yes. Swim lessons were the jam.
I think my first encounter with water in Louisiana was in the bayous where there's no visibility. You can't see. And I guess when I was little, I couldn't touch the bottom, and it was just so unsettling not to know what sea life might be in the water
Underneath.
that might be interested in snacking on like fingers or toes. So I never really got comfortable with the water until I discovered swimming pools.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, like all of my experiences like lakes and rivers for so long. You know, I grew up in Idaho, and so the ocean was not really something that was in my world in a really practical way. So, and I would get so sunburned. Like swim lessons, we always went to the same place, and Marianne Swim School, shout out Boise, Idaho. And I just remember it, like it's one of my key moments of, I think, like independence in childhood was remembering when we were old enough, my brother and I, to like ride our own bikes to swim lessons. And it was probably only a couple miles away from our house, but that we like got to go and just take out there. And there was this outdoor pool in this lady's backyard. And the kids that were teaching swim lessons were like probably in high school, but in our minds they were like such adults and so old. And I just imagine how much they probably like dreaded having me as a swim person, because I'd always tell them like, yes, I'd put on sunscreen, and then I would just be fried because I hadn't put on sunscreen. Summer was a little tough.
Yeah.
So Steve, were you on when the piglet squid showed up?
I was, yeah.
Tell us about it.
I've never seen anything like it before, but it was definitely distinctive. It kind of looked like a potato at first, floating towards us, but yeah, it had some more structure in there once we got up close, and then with some expert flying by our ROV pilots, we got some really great imagery. I think it'll be a good identification for shore-based cephalopod folks.
Awesome. That's really exciting. I can't wait to see the clip.
Yeah.
What was its primary color?
So it was mostly white translucent blend, but you could actually, we got so good detail on it, you could actually see the chromatophores, the cells that open and close that change the color of the squid.
Oh, that's awesome.
In the mantle, yeah.
It's certainly something you don't see every day.
Yeah, I didn't even look it up on the ID guide yet, but take a peek through there.
Yeah, I pulled it up a little bit. It looks like Heliococranchia, and pretty cool. First collected in 1907, but a paper from 1992 suggests that there might be as many as 14 species, which is pretty cool. There's 3 recognized species right now. And describing that potato shape, that seems like a good, from all the pictures that are of it online. So it's a, yeah, kind of a small, mesopelagic, generally squid, sort of potato shaped. And then they have small paddle-like fins that are attached to the back, away from where the tentacle plume is. And then a very large funnel that sticks out underneath the tentacles. So that's what gives kind of like the piglet-looking face for it. So cool. So Rob, can you give us a little update about the moats? Did you see what you expected to see? Did you see something different? What are the moats? We have some questions coming in.
Okay, well, it was kind of interesting because when we were on the outer portions, just looking at the ripple shaped, it looks like the general current was flowing in toward the ripples, in toward the moats.
Okay.
But then we got to a point where there's like a confused sort of cuspate, lunate sort of ripples, and it transitioned to ripples that were trending, you know, in the different directions. So it was in the parallel to our heading. So it had like looks like current flowing around the moat, like we had said. But they really weren't that big, and it didn't seem like the ripples were that active.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the holothurian tracks, you know, weren't really covered very quickly, and I would expect they would be covered quickly. And the size of the ripples weren't all that big. And even when we're looking at the current in there, the flow wasn't that great. So either there's much more of an episodic flow that may be creating these things, or periodic. But no, I was really, I'm not surprised by what I saw, but I was really, the thing that surprised me is that there wasn't as much flow in real time. So it means that maybe some of these things are more episodic. And the one thing that was really odd too is we were coming up on top of the volcano, is we were following a ridge, and so I couldn't tell if that ridge was just a larger dune with ripples on top of it, or if it was just sediment mantling what was underneath. So, you know, it was interesting. I mean, there definitely are currents moving through this, I'm not sure if the currents are enough to move enough sediment to create these moats. But the thing I didn't see is much of a turbidites or sediments coming off of the seamount, filling the moat like I had seen in other moats. But
What
no.
would those have looked like?
Well, when you take a core, you actually see coarse material at the bottom of it because that settles out faster than more fine grades upwards. And you kind of see that repeated over and over. Something like somewhat what they call a Bauma sequence in geology.
Okay.
But it was, I mean, the currents, I mean, were moving in there, and they were, creating those ripples. And you'd actually see the orientation of the tripod fish kind of telling the orientation of the flow, which kind of told you what the shape of the ripples were, and it was consistent with the asymmetric cross-sectional profile of the ripples.
So bio and geo agreeing.
Oh yeah, that's
Wow. Cats with dogs and no.
pigs and squids.
Yeah, exactly. So what would cause episodic currents? Do we know that?
I mean, it could be a storm event, like a
Okay.
hurricane comes through. I mean, sometimes you can get things
060.
moving down. Or, I mean, it could be a seasonal thing, too. I mean, there's some deep countercurrents in this area that, depending on the El Nino, La Nina system, it might be able to impact the intensity of the flow.
I got that question not too long ago. Do hurricanes impact the deep sea? And we were off Puerto Rico, and they were really concerned about how the recent hurricane that went through there, how that might have impacted communities and coral reefs in the deep sea. And I didn't really have a good answer, but it's good to know that you can have storm effects impact down deep.
Well, a lot of it depends, I mean, because you have a stratification in the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
In that stratification, we have the thermocline or the density difference, the pycnocline, kind of isolates most of the variability above that.
Mm-hmm.
But if you get a big enough storm that you can almost eliminate, you mix away that pycnocline, and so that you can have the effects reach down deeper.
Yep.
And so you actually see, storm events impact the east coast of, the Atlantic margin on the east coast, and it's maybe less than 200 meters down, so it's kind of above maybe the pycnocline. So the storms really do impact the character of the seafloor when they do come through there.
I have quite a few diver friends in Florida who are always excited when hurricanes come through because it exposes different portions of the bottom, like potentially old wrecks and things like that. So yeah, definitely churns it up at those depths, but I'm not so sure about the depths that we're at, how much effect it has.
Yeah, and Megan, going back to even longer time scales, the last glacial maximum, the water level was lower, and probably the paleo circulation was different too. So these things, some of the features, these moats could probably be even created, 25,000 years ago.
Interesting. That's an interesting thought, huh? Yeah, so do we really have a way to say, I guess you could look at just sediment accumulation in them, but maybe not, to know whether these are, kind of features that are currently being developed or if they're older?
Yeah, it's really tough because, if they're turbidites, you could, try to go down and sample them and get the ages of those, but it's going to be a mishmash, melange of material that gets down in there, so it's going to be tough to age date.
Sure.
And you could, instrument it. I mean, people have put current meters down there, but you'd have to have a series of them, and who knows if a year's worth of information would be enough to give you, at least that would give you the annual seasonal sort of thing. But you need it down for like 5 to 10 years to look at the El Nino La Nina component.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be a interesting observation. what effect that has. You know, there's a pretty strong force in this region. If that has an effect on deep water communities, I think it might most have an effect on the productivity, which would influence how much food things on the bottom get.
Yeah, really interesting. Where is the picnic line usually at out in Central Pacific, Equatorial Pacific kind of zone? I guess we could look at our CTD data. But
Yeah.
is there in generality?
I want to say it's about maybe 100 to 200 meters down.
Okay.
Sounds right.
Because when we used to have to do a side scan sonar, we'd tow a device. We have to get it down below the picnic line, so it wouldn't, the sound signals wouldn't bounce off the picnic line. Yeah, I somehow remember like 100, 120 meters was the. Steve's actually looking up at some of our data now to find the.
Yeah, we have some profiles that have been generated.
What were you looking at or for with your side scan, Rob?
Actually, we're mapping the East Pacific Rise.
Okay.
The region between the Clipperton and the Sequeiros fracture zone. Something the old Sea Mark II, which is no longer in existence because someone backed over the cable.
Wait, what?
When you deploy it, you have to deploy it off the back, and for some reason, the cable became acquainted with the propeller.
Oh. Oh no.
Yeah.
So this is
and the side scan off with it.
Yep.
Green is density.
Yeah.
And red is temperature. So
it's about 150, 250 meters. I mean, 150 to 200 meters is a picnic line out here. Probably close to 150 meters.
Yeah, so that's really interesting. I mean, effectively, if the picnic line is controlling a lot of the mixing or the mixing dynamics, if it's a major driver, then you don't need a hurricane stirring 1,200 meters of water. You just need it stirring 150 meters of water, which feels much more likely to me, not knowing the details.
But it really is surprising that these seamounts have so little sediment on them.
Yeah. Steve, did you have a chance to look at the whatever we decided we're calling that hairy bacteria or little sediment things? Did you get to see that?
you know, I tried to look for it, and I'll take a look now that Rob's here, and he can tell me what exactly what they're referring to. But I didn't see anything that jumped out when I was scanning through some of the screen grabs last night. But we slurped some, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah, we tried to. I don't know if the mesh is small enough to capture it, but we've got some.
Was it like a rusty orange colored?
No, it looked like sediment. It's the same colors as sediment.
It was just so finely
Yeah,
distributed.
it's like white and dusty.
That's cool. Sample. Is there a sample number?
Let's see.
Go back to that.
I think this is from the last day. This is 17. I think we started 18.
It should be 22.
22.
And it's about 749.50. Yeah.
Yeah, I see what you mean, and I didn't even know what we were looking at, but now I see what you're looking at. Let me go to this timestamp and look for some more photos, maybe that are tighter zooms. 7:07:50.
I'm not sure if we really have any tighter zooms, but
You know, my suspicion is that if it is sediment colored and it's the same color as the sediment, it's probably some sort of worm tube or some sort of foram. So worms can make small tubes that they use sediment or sort of foraminiferous.
yeah, they didn't have a tube, you know,
Yeah.
morphology to it. It was just like a thin layer of this stuff. Whether a sediment got attached to something that was growing there.
Yeah, it could be, you know, these benthic foraminiferan things. They are amoeba-like, so they kind of just go off in one direction, and they agglutinate sediments as a part of their body.
Agglutinate might be the word of the watch for me. I'm excited about that.
I would like a look.
Yeah, but it's pretty pervasive. I mean,
Yeah, that was the thing. Like once we got around to the idea that it wasn't just a super thin covering of sediment, you know, that it was oddly just in the channels, and that it was, yeah. All of a sudden, it was like, oh, if this is something, it's everywhere. It's really interesting. So, kind of a cool thing about the data flow here, absolutely everything is given a timestamp in UTC. So all of the different streams of data are coordinated together, are tied together around that timestamp. So if there's an entry in the event log, which is the data log that Suna's keeping, you can go back to exactly what that timestamp is and look for the pictures that were taken nearest to that timestamp. You could look for the all of the sensor data, so what's the dissolved oxygen, the water temperature, the conductivity, which measure the salinity, the depth, the navigation data of the ROVs, so where in space were we at that point, and along with the video timestamp. So really cool way to go back and reference all the information depending on what it is that you want to know about or want to revisit. Up here, I also keep a log of the video highlights, so sort of short-circuiting that process. Those go directly back to our team on the Education Outreach team ashore and our video editors, so they're able to cut together highlights when I tag awesome moments. And that's how we get the highlights out onto Nautilus Live. How we doing on our jump?
The best we've ever done.
Best jumping.
Good, we are slowing down, waiting for the vehicles to catch up and reacquire.
Fantastic. How far did we jump?
About 500 meters. The ship moved 500 meters. The vehicles are only about 300.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I'm going as fast as I can, Miles.
It's Argus's fault.
Come on, hurry up.
Come on, Jake. Paddle with your with your arms.
did I actually hear a Canadian say sorry?
Weird.
Long O. Long O, yeah. It's like OA. It's like SOARRY. Sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry. We kid. So let's see, we climbed sort of southwest to northeast up this slope, right? And then we just continued northeast, and we're going to come back up that side?
Affirmative.
Looks like it.
Awesome.
How far do we want to go before we descend to the bottom?
We're on our way down right now.
Oh, we are? Oh, clearly I'm on top of things.
Where do we want to end up, though? That's a good question. Are we going all the way, or are we stopping in the field, the flatty bit?
I've slowed to 0.4. I just figured we'd just track a line and survey through here, but with
Sure.
bottom visual.
Well, actually, I mean, Steve, do you want to come back straight up the same slope?
Yeah, I mean, we didn't see the bottom here, so.
Yeah, so I think he wants to go down and then reciprocate here.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have much time left.
Bridge,
We're,
yeah.
we're under an hour now, probably about an hour. So drop down, do a 180,
And go right back up?
and go right back up again.
Sounds fine to me.
All right.
And unless you guys really want to look at sediment ripples.
I mean, they're beautiful, but I feel like we got some quality video of sediment ripples already on this dive.
A lot of emphasis on that, but.
Yeah.
I think I need to wait to make sure the 4 to 8 watch had that.
Yeah. Team Sand Ripple. Yeah.
Sand ripple. It took me a minute to hear what you said there. Sand ripple.
Oh, I heard Sandra Bullock.
I did
Sandra
too.
Bullock.
I heard Sandra Ball, like almost Jess's name, but not quite.
Yeah.
Like, that's not her
You're
watch
like,
anyway. What
she's on the other one.
are you talking about, Megan?
You're like, have you mixed up Hannaford and Sandoval?
Handoval.
Sandiford.
Cool.
So happy Sunday, or good morning to everybody tuned in on Nautilus Live. We're really happy to have you with us, and we'd love to answer your questions about what it's like to live on the ship, or what we're up to, where we are. Folks all over the world joining us, which is always awesome to see. So whether this is your first time tuning into Nautilus Live, or you're one of our longtime viewers,
Ship is there.
really glad to have you here and exploring with our team.
Your layback is 90 meters.
Roger. Let's stay 20 to 30 off the deck.
Look at all of that coral food in the water column. Mmm.
Which way do you think he's going to spin, Miles? If you were a betting man. Say again? Right on. It's going to go this way.
Yep.
Huh. About noonish. Cool.
He's doing a NASCAR turn.
Doing a which?
NASCAR.
Me?
No, the boat.
Turning left?
Yes.
Is that your sport, Wayne?
No.
Go fast, turn left. Okay, Miles, question for you.
Okay.
A viewer would like to know if we needed to get from point A to point B with the ROVs in the water in a hurry, how fast could the ship tow the ROVs through the water?
Well, we could technically drag them through the water at about 3.5 knots, but there would be massive system failures. We try to limit it to about a 0.2. I thought you
were going to say try to limit it to minor system failures.
Moderate.
Moderate system failures only, please.
So the ship on jet pump can do about a little more than 4 knots. But we don't want to put that kind of stress on the vehicles. Herc can comfortably power itself along at about a 1.5 knots. So we'll tow around that without Herc really powering along.
What type of massive system failures are we talking about?
Probably
bending, strain.
Worst case, total comms loss.
Yeah. We're like, we'll start at the worst case, walk our way back.
But there is a hard, this is a question, is there a hard and fast rule that we do not start the main engine with the ROV in the water?
That would be an emergency procedure. That would be non-standard.
Okay.
It has happened.
Oh, really?
Both accidentally and on purpose.
Oh, okay then.
Oh, yeah.
For one thing, it's really interesting. Like the vibration goes down the tether, which is that's what I remember.
What goes down the tether?
The vibration from Thor. You know.
What's that branch?
Looks like a Venus.
We have time to look at that. Why don't we have a gander?
Actually, there's a couple things there. What's going on there?
There's one down below there.
Yeah, Venus flytrap anemone. How did you?
And mushroom.
Okay, zoom in, please, Wayne.
Oh,
Zooming.
you must have seen one last night.
Yeah.
We've seen a couple.
Mm-hmm. And some Paragorgia on the other side.
That's awesome.
You saw a Paragorgia?
Yeah, on the left.
Yeah, there were, on the left there were 2 colonies.
Oh, look at the squat lobster with his pinchers
Bubble
up.
gums.
Ready. Totally ready for snacks.
Snacks on snacks on snacks.
And
Fantastic.
hydroids,
Sweet. Look at
those
that.
little wispy things.
Is that what those are?
Mm-hmm. Hydroids and probably bryozoans, maybe.
You want a tighter zoom?
Let's go find that Paragorgia.
Yeah.
It's a little further to the base of this rock here. To
Come
the
by,
left.
please.
Coming wide.
Right there.
There it is. Yes.
Oh, okay.
What is that one?
Let me come wide.
Shrimp attack.
Okay.
All right, go ahead.
You ready?
There's a lot of them here,
All right.
right?
Yeah.
Do
That's
we
my
know what
favorite
kind of
type.
shrimp we've been seeing?
So there's a few different types. Yeah, Paragorgia. Yeah.
It looks so different whenever they're out and feeding.
Yeah, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot less bubblegummy.
Got a little more zoom. That's it. That's
All right.
full.
Okay.
There's another one on the other side of the rock, which I could probably get a better zoom at.
That's
Why?
all right. You know, I think this is
You know
good
what they are?
imagery, yeah. Well, we sampled one of these yesterday, and I think it's exactly the same species. There's nothing on here that would indicate that it's different.
It's so interesting that the color
Wide.
changes so much when they dry. Yeah.
Is the ship
Yeah.
going full around 180, or is he giving
Well,
up?
some of them.
For 180.
So Paragorgia will stay like pink lemonade.
Stopped here.
Oh,
Okay.
no, he did stop.
Okay.
Starting
But,
up.
you know, Paragorgia is also one that is color variable, so
Mm.
it can be pale as clouds and still be the same species as one that's dark as dark red.
Hmm.
Look at that. tail on the anemone.
It's
Like, what is going
amazing.
on there? It's on the stalk, but it's on the other stalk.
Mm-hmm. It looked like when we saw one yesterday that looked like it had been skewered. Like it
Yeah.
had wrapped totally around this
What
branch
is
in
Yeah.
such a
it?
funny way.
I
Is that
think,
an enemy?
yep. Yeah, it wraps
Can we
its
zoom in
pedal
on this one a
disc
little bit? Just wanna
around
see where I'm at. Yeah.
the branch.
Mm-hmm.
I could hold it here
sense.
for a bit if you want to do a reset.
Oh, hi, urchin.
Oh, urchin. That's interesting too.
Do you want to look at it?
Yeah, let's look at the urchin.
Now he's going for it.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh.
You might not have heard you speak.
Oh, how's my audio?
Yeah, it's good.
Can we look at the urchin?
Yeah,
to
stand
the
by. We're just
right?
going to do a little nav reset.
Mhm.
Another 30 seconds. And I'll get you that urchin zoom.
Sure.
You can, yeah, you can come around and keep me in view.
Yeah, a question from the viewer
Ready when you
about
Okay, yeah.
about vibration down the,
Good.
the tether. That's not the normal status. That's one of the reasons why, one of many reasons why we don't operate with the main engine on with the
Okay, zoom,
vehicles in the
please.
water.
Okay, zooming in.
So we don't have that problem when we're on the dynamic positioning system using the jet pump and the thrusters. So that's a much preferred solution.
Sorry.
I might not have.
Yeah, the mains are not tied into the DP system.
Yeah.
So they
Yeah, I
just
got it
operate
back way, sorry.
independently.
Mm-hmm.
Beep, beep, beep.
You ready?
You can come wide, eh?
Okay. Coming wide, and wow, we're far
Okay,
away.
we're pretty much at our turnaround point here. Ship's just doing its last little adjustment, and we should be able to head up slope
Great.
soonly.
Make it so.
What's going to be that bearing?
240.
240, okay.
All right, Jake. Quiz question. What is the 6/8 cable made out of? Or talk to me about the 6/8 cable. Tell me what you know about it.
There are 3 conductors that run down it. And I think 4 fibers. Three fibers. The 3 conductors send power down to the ROVs, and the fibers transmit video and communications.
Why do we call it the 6/8?
Because that's the size of it.
The weirdest dimension ever.
Yeah.
0.68 of an inch.
0.681. You want to get real precise?
Nice. Put that in my fun fact drawer. 0.681. And what is the armoring made of, Trevor?
Ooh, I forget the type of steel, but it's a type of plow steel. I can't
Plow
remember.
steel?
Plow steel.
What's that mean?
I don't know. Maybe they make plows out of it. I don't know.
Okay. I was like, you can't just throw a term out there and have me not ask what it means.
You're right. I don't know.
It's my job.
I don't know Google what the
Plow
specific
like
flavor is.
PLOW?
PLOW. Like for snow. Or for the ocean.
Or steel jackets on a
I instantly thought of
6/8
like a mold
cable.
board.
A which?
A mold board, like a soil turner at
Yeah.
farm equipment.
Oh yeah, I thought
Yeah,
of
totally.
a farm too. I did not think of snow.
The inner Canadian in me thinks of snow and instead of the farm.
Yeah.
It's probably the farm actually. It's probably not the snow.
I wasn't gonna say that. I wasn't gonna blame it on your nation.
Especially me, because I live in the Hawaii of Canada.
That's true.
Does it snow in Victoria?
It does several times a year.
does.
There's a couple year. You go a couple years. Sorry, every so often there's a year with no snow, but usually we get 5 snowfalls a year. 3 to 5.
It's funny to look across the channel sometimes and be like, it's not snowing on us, but it's snowing on Victoria. Like Yeah,